these lesions to close up these geysers and then allow you to progress to the killing NPC boss phase, which eventually then pushes back the foothold. Now, talking about competing incentives, we are a PBX game. If anybody is disillusioned with that fact, it is better to come to terms with that right now. That is what this game's identity includes, which means that there are going to be PvP objectives and there are going to be PvE objectives. And balancing between those two competing aspects is how you succeed in Ashes of Creation. So when you're taking these crates that have this, this high amount of essence from the forward operating base, from these coalition outposts, there is an incentive for a player to gank you and kill you in this lawless area and unpack those crates and steal the essence inside, because it's very profitable. Of the crates that you can kill and take, these crates are extremely profitable. I mean, they're literally pure essence. So you're going to have the players who are interested in all the reward profile that comes with successfully contributing to these legions and closing them and killing the bosses and pushing back the foothold. That is super rewarding. That's the PvE component of it. And then you're going to have the players who are really interested in stopping those players because they can take the shit that they can take the crates that they've crafted and the goods that they've used to progress in that PvE encounter, and they can introduce that PvP element in order to add that risk and steal those things. That is the competing avenue between the two player groups.
No PvEer will do that.
Yeah, with the whole area being lawless, there's a whole bunch of
nope.
you can...
This is another stupid idea from Steven.
Like
whenever all the root wave legions are stabilized, then next objective.
Yeah, it is.
And unlike the incursion phase, they're going to be in a weakened.
That's a better word for it, better class for it than what I said, yeah.
And when you're successful in killing all the void channels, then we'll be a check if you push back all the corruption, and if not, you're going to have to push back all the corruption in the Harbinger's area before you can proceed. But if it's all been pushed back, then the next phase is to challenge the Ancient Commander at the Harbinger. These will be unique encounters. NPCs hard at work, giving us 3 different variants of these Ancient Commanders, and they're going to all have unique rewards. And yeah, whenever you defeat the Ancient Commander, then the event will end. It'll go on some sort of cooldown, and it will, whenever that cooldown has passed, then it will then be gated by the local corruption threshold. That's basically the whole loop.
Very exciting.
And the thing that they're all working towards is the reward part of it.
Legions. And it means constructing the forward operating base or the coalition outpost. It means defeating the bosses, and at the Void Gate, they have very lucrative types of drops, including some specific corruption type drops, which we won't get into here. There's still some design that's going into that the economy and system teams will be working towards, and those are obviously going to be high level. This whole zone, this whole story arc is intended for a more end game type of leveling experience. So as the zone changes to a Void Gate incursion or to a foothold, the monsters in the area get leveled up, right? They get a buff to them that makes them corrupted and makes them, the natural fauna and flora that exist there, in addition to adding ancients that are, all throughout the zones as well, which are a whole different type of mob that has its own, difficulty level. So these are very difficult encounters that are expected for players who participate with them.
And just as a note, for the initial version, nearby settlement states will not be directly affected. Right. But the future iterations, that is the plan for us to expand, to analyze all of this and have lots of thoughts. And obviously, once you guys get your chance to check it out in PDR, we'll definitely let you know when it's available.
Only once, but PBR's just lost access to that area, and they won't be able to get in and do any of that. Not without huge PvP escorts.
Some sports fishing action before we get into more intense.
That's not fair for some people. For people in Axiom, it's not bad. We can organize that. And great reward system. And then he goes to say that no matter what you say, this is a PVX game, you guys. This is, and he was all like kind of scolding us, right? Telling us it's a PVX game. And then he says that it's an event that PvP, it's going to be based on PvP. That people will just wait and gank you when you come in, because where you got to go to complete it, you have to go through the gauntlet, so to speak. He just said that all PvPers will like this one, because then they'll be incentivized to kill you for your pack, open it, take the essence inside, because it's very profitable, even if you steal it.
Yeah, because the only way to close up these incursions at some point
Welcome
is to
back. We're going to talk about sports fishing. This is a little sneak peek, maybe not as in depth as what we just did with the Harbinger system, but we will cover kind of some information that will hopefully answer some questions folks have been wondering about. And with us is a new face. We have Blair. Welcome. You are a new face. Can you?
First time
You're
caller.
kind of cutting out for us a little bit, so I think you're peeking yourself. Can you kind of walk people through what your role is in here and like what you do at Intrepid Studios?
I am the lead combat designer, and that encompasses a whole lot. There's player combat, there's NPC combat, there's vehicle combat, and I kind of sit on top of all of those teams, and then also help out all over the place just because I've been doing this forever
Shit.
and have all kinds of insight into ways to get things done.
Perfect segue.